Good morning, peeps. It's Jenny Clouston here again, and yes, so continuing on from the other video, my blurb on stuff I have, and spring cleaning my sewing room and spring cleaning me of beautiful UFOs I have. I'm going to continue. So this is, English paper piecing that I did some embroidery on. I've got another side to do here, and what I decided to do is do a series of Baptist fans. I'm just going to cover this whole thing in Baptist fans shape. It's an old quilting design, and this time I'm going to be using embroidery, all different stitches, etc, etc. Now, this one over here is tiny, 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 isn't she? So what I might do with her is simply start off. And all I'm doing is I'm using to begin with, because I don't really know, quite a limited palette of threads, and I'll see what happens. I'll see as I go. But as I said, I'm on a little bit of a mission to get my UFOs finished and done. Finished and klaar, as they say in South Africa. So I have marked my beginnings with a horrible blue pen, because I do need to do this. I cannot do it freehand. And the first stitch that I'm going to do is I'm simply going to do a wheat ear stitch. Now, wheat ear is a funny stitch, and even if you have a look in my book here, let's see if it's in this one. It should be, because I use it a lot. It's not. All right, so if you have a look at a wheat ear stitch, for example, it's going to tell you quite a complicated. In fact, I'm going to stop this video and I'm going to go and get my other book. Hold on. So there you have it. From our first book, Foolproof Crazy Quilting, you'll see that there is wheat ear here, and they tell you to do 2 straight stitches first, and then you do a chain stitch underneath. Can you see? Now, I don't do my wheat ear that way at all. It's quite difficult to get it nice and even, so I do a cheat wheat ear, and it's only on a very small little piece over here, so you can't really get a good indication, and I cannot use a hoop because it's a bit difficult here. So remember, I'm going to be adding things to this chain, so let's not make it too small, and let's not pull the stitch too tight. And before you know it, it looks a bit twisted down there, doesn't it? Yeah, you see what happens if you don't go into the right place. Your bottom gets all twisted. You can't have that, peeps. Can't have that. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, so just make sure that when you reinsert your needle, it goes on the right side of the thread that came out. Like, oh, come on, Jennifer. Everything's happening here. I'm not really worried about this first arc because she's very short, and it's not, I can't really do much with her. So if I simply do this to turn her into a wheat ear, this thread, I'm going to come up and do 2 little straight stitches on either side of her, and before you know it, you have a wheat ear without having to worry about getting your legs straight and blah de blah. Now, I wish I could actually give these instructions for a wheat ear like this in books. I'm not self-published, so the publishers, and understandably, they're going to go with the way it's traditionally done. Oh, the birds have gone quiet all of a sudden. Okay. All right, so there we have it. Now, I'm not sure what this is going to look like, but so I'm not going to actually add anything to this at this point. I will just leave all my stitches as is. and then I'll see if I need to add any more like colonial knots or something like that to match the other side of this. I don't really know. I'll just have to wait and see. I'm just going to get rid of that horrible blue pen underneath there. All right, done. Next one, I think what I'll do is I will do change my color. I think I'll go to the blue. This one is actually nearly finished, so let's use her. And this time I'm going to do a fern stitch. Let me thread this needle up. Why aren't you threading, needle? You're normally my superpower. All right, now let me just run through fern stitch with you very quickly, because as I said, I do things differently. So there we have a C, D, E. There is a feather, 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 fern. So you start at the top and you move down. See? However, just remember, when you watch me, I do mine upside down, so do not get confused by this. I'm going to turn it upside down. I just need to make sure that I'm getting right till the end of this. There you go. So as you know, a fern is made up of 3 little stab stitches. Wouldn't it be nice if I could work in a hoop here? 2 and 3. Just make sure that at this point, this stitch here, you need to make this stitch that I'm at, the traveling stitch, nice and long, because if you don't, you're going to have to open up your legs and make these stitches that I'm doing here more outwards, and I don't like that. So try and keep those legs sort of close to your body and contained. Be a bit of a lady. So there you go. Oh, why did I jump? I missed that one, peeps. I'll have to go back and do that now. Doesn't matter. I was hoping to put the red there, but it's okay. I had a lovely lady called Colleen contact me from Western Australia, and she is beginning to do a crazy quilt with her friend's wedding dress, I think she said. She sent me the photographs, and she's bought some beautiful fabric threads, you know, the neutral thread pack. And she said to me, I don't know where to start. And I thought, ooh, what I might do is I love crazy quilting, as you know. I might start just a little small project. Oh, but I can't start a small project, can I? Because, sorry, I'm just working on my side because of all this fabric. It's a little bit easier. I'll edit this video so you don't have to see me doing it all the way down. Anyway, what I was going to say, maybe I will just do a little crazy quilt project. I'll see if I've got anything that I can use, because remember, I'm spring cleaning in this September. It's surprising how much thread you use for certain stitches. Fern stitch uses a lot of threads, and I'm actually going bigger here, which I don't really want to do. So I will just go back down to keeping it small. I know. I need to have my nails done. Forgive me. I will do it in time. Yeah, I think this is going to work. I think that once I've taken away that horrible blue, it's going to be fine. Absolutely fine. I'll switch off the camera now and I'll see you when this is done. All right, so I have finished that. Let's get rid of that blue, although you can't see the blue on that one. I'm going to be doing this one now. Let us decide. What shall I do there? What shall I do there? I want stitches that take up space, so why don't I do one of my favorites? So let's do a twisted chain along here. My friend Lovely Jane has been away for a while now. I think it's over 2 weeks. I've still got 4 more weeks to go until she comes back. She's having a lovely time, I'm sure. The reason why I have got such a, I'll tell you a funny story. I've got such a thing about putting my needles in a pincushion. I'm sure I've told you the story before. I forget what I say. But anyway, so what happened was I was working on a project and I was trying to hurry because it was for my mother, and I was going back to South Africa. Let that big truck go past. And I decided, well, it was late at night and I thought, oh, I'll just go and sit with my husband in the lounge room. And I went and I was sitting with him and I didn't take a pincushion. And every time I put the needle down, I said to myself, Jennifer, go and get a pincushion, go and get a pincushion. Anyway, I didn't. And then I think I got up to do something and I realized that I had stood on a needle. So at first I thought, oh, this is okay. I can see the needle and the thread was hanging out. So I thought, oh, cool bananas. I'll just pull it out. When I tried to pull it out, I realized that I was in the poo because I couldn't pull it out. It seemed to be somehow kind of stuck. Anyway, I just decided it was a Saturday night and I thought, I don't think that I should leave this. I should go to the emergency room at the hospital. And of course, being Saturday night and me not being an emergency, I was left and I waited, hang on for this, over 11 hours. But I was told that because there were so many other, I think there was something happening with babies because there were so many very sick babies going through, and I understand eventually, but it was so funny because all the nursing staff and the doctors kept coming to see me because, as I said, the thread was hanging, the needle was in my toe, but the thread was hanging out, was out. And then he tried to pull it out and I said, listen, I don't think that it's going to work because I think that the needle has gone in. So you're trying to pull it out, you know, because you think the thread's, you know, there. But what the needle had gone in threading side first. Thank goodness it was actually a very, very fine needle. And he eventually took an x-ray and he said, oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, so we had to pull it out. You had to make an incision and pull the the needle out. Do you all feel a bit ill now after that story? Anyway, I'm fine. So I have an absolute thing about putting needles back in pin cushions. I think it just helps my brain realize that it's, you know, it's in it, you know, it's safe. Now, I am doing my absolute favorite stitch, and that is, oh, the green might not show up as much as I'd like it to show up, will it? Anyway, it's going on. And as I said before, not the easiest stitch in the whole world to do. It has the enormous potential to look very unfortunate. I think it'll show up more as I go down. Doesn't really matter if it doesn't show up that much. That is why I use a pin cushion. Oh, I wish I could. Oh, maybe I can put this in a hoop now. There you go. Make it a bit fatter. Genade, meisie mens. It's all the wadding up, all the stabilizer I use on my, because this is going to be like a clutch. So, oh, now of course I'm going to have to stab because I'm in a hoop. I should have just left it off, eh? Anyway, you don't have to watch me do this. I will see you when I am finished doing my beautiful favorite stitch. Feather stitch. Yep, so there you go. It's kind of starting to look okay. I do think that I'm going to have to add a few little stitches to these, or colonial knots, just to sort of tie it in with that. But I'm quite liking that it's a little zen-like, and I'm marking my Baptist fan with this kind of contraption. So just get a bit of card, half an inch from the bottom, and then whatever your distance you want it to be. And then what's going to happen is I'm just going to come here and I'll just draw, you know, let me just show you quickly. I'm sure you've seen it before done. This is how we mark our, of course, not Baptist fan. So just get a pin. I'll use a needle in this case because I don't have a pin. So I'm going to put this in the corner here, hold this in place, get my marking pen. This is a nice thick one. And I'm just going to draw my line here, and then my next one here, and then my next one here, and then my next one there. And I'm doing this nice and random. So then my next one will come in. Chum, chum. So I have done, you see, I unpicked something here. I started something and I went, I don't know if I necessarily like that very much. So I got rid of it. But as I said, this is my spring clean, and it's me getting good and clean and fresh, tra-la-la. For the, oh, I must tell some, you know, all the people who follow me from South Africa who are after the book. I contacted exclusive books in South Africa, and oh my goodness, goeie genade, they were so helpful. And what they have said is that the supplier, I don't know who that would be, if it's, I don't know, doesn't have stock of the fourth book, this one here. So what they would suggest you do is get onto their website and put it on your wish list, and so when they get stock, then you can get it. That's what I've done, because I need to get one to my mom and dad, because as you know, they still are in South Africa. So that's what I'm going to do. So exclusive books in South Africa will keep the book. So now, with that, lovely people, I think I'm going to like this very much once it's all done, and I'll add some little bits and bobs to it, a little bit of nonsense. And with that, I'm going to pack up my troubles in my old kit bag, and I will see you around. Bye for now.